What's good, YouTube? Happy holidays for you guys. But I should be making a video even on Christmas. But I wanted to talk to you guys about Kevin Love. This is just my personal opinion. I made a rant, obviously, about it when they won a championship. But nobody really talks about Kevin Love. And if they do, they always say something negative. He didn't show up in the playoffs. He didn't show up in the finals. He had an off game. He hit clutch shots a lot. Um, for this Cavaliers team, and that goes unnoticed. He does a lot of key things for them to win, including just being the perfect player to go along with LeBron James. Obviously, he's basically a Chris Bosh, a guy that can stretch out to the 3-point line, knock down mid range, pick and pop, and he's obviously a better rebounder than Chris Bosh was when he was with Miami. Um, but I would say Chris Bosh was the better defender. I feel like Kevin Love has became average at defense, not terrible. He used to be bad, just he had bad habits obviously for playing with the Wolves and they always losing, and he didn't really have to do that much because he carried them offensively and he had to grab all the rebounds. So he's gonna have some type of flaw, but his defense has been okay. To me personally, I watch him and it's been okay. His rebounding has been excellent as always. He didn't really rebound as much as he did in Minnesota because of less opportunities. But his first 4 seasons, this is his fifth year going in there. Um, he averaged 9 rebounds his first year with Cleveland. Second year, 9.9. Last year when he was an All Star again, 11.1. This year, 10.1. His averages when he first got there was 16 points, 16 points. He was able to raise it because Kyrie Irving was injured, so they needed him to do a little bit more. 19 this year, they don't have Isaiah Thomas majority of the season, and he's one of their main focal points of the offense because of that. And he's basically averaging 20 and 10, barely 19.8, 10 rebounds, 40% from three, 47% from the field, which is a high for Cleveland. Being in Cleveland playing with LeBron, 47% is his highest. He always been around average or better from the 3-point line since he started becoming a star in Minnesota. 36% in Cleveland, 36, 37, 40. And the reason why I bring up those numbers because people, when the trade was made, they would say they should have kept Wiggins. He's a better player for them. He's more versatile because he can play the 2, he can play the 3. He has huge potential. At the end of the day, they end up doing a trade anyway to get Kevin Love. I feel like Kevin Love fits more, and now that they have a player like Jeff Green, and now that they have a player like Jay Crowder, I'm not saying they're better than Wiggins because they're not, but they still got that long, lanky defender that can play the 2 or the 3, and now they got 2 of them. Well, they got more than that now, but now they have 2 legitimate players that can play the 2 or the 3 defensively, and that's not really a problem. That's something they really didn't have when Kyrie was there. It's funny that stuff like that happened when LeBron was at Cleveland. I mean, Miami, they really couldn't get a good center. Then he leaves and they get a good point guard and a good center. They had Mario Chalmers and Greg Oden and Eddie Curry and all this bull crap. And then obviously when LeBron leaves, they end up getting Hassan Whiteside and Gordon Dragic. That's kind of crazy that every time the players that you need and want to fill you don't get, but when the player actually leaves, they get all of that. Like I said, they needed Wiggins when they first started because they traded for Kevin Love. Now they got Jay Crowder, and now they have Jeff Green and other players of that ilk. But the thing that's funny about that now is that Kyrie Irving is gone. So they got what they needed when they needed to play the Warriors, and now that Kyrie gone, they got that now. But now they got more problems. But I just want to talk about Kevin Love. I feel like he has been undervalued and underappreciated. I feel like last year with Kyrie going down, he showed how much valuable he was for the team. For that floor spacing, because you can say, oh, you can just start Channing Frye, but he don't rebound the way that Kevin Love does. For him to be able to score, stretch out the defense, knock down threes at an above average percentage because you want to shoot 36 and above. And he has been able to do that while playing with LeBron and Kyrie. And now without Kyrie, he's shooting even higher from 3. His points and his field goal percentage, I think that's important because when they get their point guard back, Kevin Love will go more to the stretch, be more of an off-ball player. when he doesn't play with Kyrie in them, he gets more of the post touches, more of the mid-range jumpers, and obviously he hitting better from three than he usually did with Cleveland. So it's a little misleading because with Isaiah Thomas and LeBron James on the court, they're not going to give him the ball that much in the post. And he's going to have to be more of the role player, Kevin Love, that we've seen with Kyrie, where he's mostly going to be the stretch out player to kick it out for LeBron or Kyrie, and just shoot threes a lot. And I don't think that's the best way to use Kevin Love. But every time somebody goes down, they use Kevin Love the right way. And I think that they should continue to do that, even though it may not be best for the whole team, to have Kevin Love playing hard, to have him making an impact. And he can do a lot of mismatched things because they switch a lot. And when you switch on LeBron, or he gets a smaller defender, or they switch a big person on him, it allows Kevin Love to go into the paint when the ball goes up and rebound over shorter point guards and shooting guards. And that's how you get a lot of his rebounds too, is because of switching. And he gets a lot of his post ups where they switch and they just throw the ball in the post to Kevin Love, and he just shoots a bank shot over him, a little jumper over him, or bangs in the paint and gets some layups. And he obviously is a great free throw shooter, and he always has been for the last couple seasons. But I wanted to make that video to let him know, like, Kevin Love can play. Kevin Love, after that trade, he looks like he has lived up to it, and he finally got that recognition a little bit more from the coaches when they voted him into the All-Star game. And he will be an All-Star this year. Just look at the numbers, and he has been healthy, and he has been playing great, unless he get injured and can't play. But to me, if he don't get voted in by the fans, which I doubt he will, because he's not really marketed it, they don't put him on commercials. He only important when you watch a Cleveland game. If you don't watch a Cleveland game, nobody ever talks or cares about Kevin Love. And I feel like he's just been underrated and undervalued. He's been having a great season this year, including last year. And even when Kyrie was there, he still gave you 16-9 on 36 from three. His field goal percentage dropped a little bit because he shot so many threes in general. Let me bring that up in this discussion too. When he played with Kyrie and them, he was shooting 5 threes a game. Out of his 12.7 shots a game, almost half of them was threes. And even when Kyrie went down last year, he shot 6 threes. This year, he's shooting a little bit more threes, but he's getting a little bit more shot attempts. And people don't know the impact of Kevin Love, his ability to stretch out the floor. And now that LeBron James has improved his jump shot, and Isaiah Thomas, when he played, he started improving his mid-range and his three-point shot. It just makes them more dangerous because now they have more ball handlers and more playmakers that they can cut up the defense, not only just to find Kevin Love for threes, because he can get back doors, or he can just get the mismatches and the switches, and he can get the pick and pop jumpers, because Kevin Love is more unnoticed to certain teams because you're so worried about stopping the ball. Let's make LeBron shoot threes. Let's keep LeBron out the paint. And you don't focus on Kevin Love because of those things. And Isaiah Thomas is the same. He's a dynamic ball handler that can score the basketball, and if you put him in the right scenarios and you put him in his comfort area, he can get buckets. And the more he does it and the more LeBron does it, it takes more attention off Kevin Love to get the putbacks, to get the dump offs, to get the spot up threes. And that makes their offense even better because you took away their options, you took away their comfortability, but you're still getting a high shot. You're getting high shot selection from Kevin Love and other people because he is a great passer too. And that's something that we always knew about Kevin Love, was that he was a good passer. And in his Cleveland days, he only averaged 2 assists because he don't have the ball as much in his hands as much as he did in Minnesota. So his numbers are obviously going to go down because he has less opportunities to do it. But I feel like Kevin Love has been damn near a perfect fit to go along LeBron. And if you go back to the days when Cleveland lost in the finals because Kyrie and Kevin Love both went down, LeBron made a serious effort to tell Kevin Love, we have unfinished business here. And Kevin Love could have went to Houston. He could have went to anywhere. But instead, he said, yeah, LeBron, I want to stay with LeBron. I feel like we can win a championship. And they end up doing it. And Kyrie is gone. But Kevin Love, the guy that everybody don't give credit to, the guy that everybody overlook, is still there playing with LeBron, making it work, putting up career numbers in Cleveland. even with Isaiah out, even though they went down from the number 2 team in the East into to the number 3 team in the East, they add off to a bad start, and Kevin Love hit big shots in that stretch to help them win and get out of that funk, and nobody even talks about that. But Kevin Love has been undervalued and underappreciated, and like I said, I was glad that he made the All-Star team last year. But with the addition of Isaiah Thomas and everybody getting comfortable, everybody knowing their roles, everybody knowing what's the habits of other players, his numbers has continually improved because he has the respect from his peers and the respect from his teammates. When they give the ball to Kevin Love, they have high confidence in him knocking down and making shots because he is one of the better players in the league. He has been falling off to a lot of people because he accepted a lesser role in Cleveland than he would if he would have stayed in Minnesota, but he made the best out of it. He became an NBA champion, and he's still there. And he's right now they're using him more than ever. And he's coming through and delivering, and he's shooting high from the field, and he's still playing his game. And I feel like Kevin Love, honestly, was the perfect piece. And obviously, Wiggins, his numbers have been declining in Minnesota, even though I like the Wiggins and the Jimmy Butler combination to go along with Karl Anthony Towns. Kevin Love has been a perfect fit in Cleveland. And that's one thing looking back at the trade we didn't really know. We didn't know what was going to happen. Wiggins showed a lot of star potential in his rookie season and in his sophomore season. But now you got to be realistic. If he played with Cleveland, he wouldn't have the ball in his hand. He wouldn't get that many shots. But Kevin Love went through the same thing, but he was still a perfect fit alongside LeBron and Kyrie. And now that Isaiah Thomas and Kyrie is gone, he has up the rankings, and most likely will be an All-Star this year, something that Wiggins haven't been able to do just yet, but he should be able to get there. But Kevin Love has been a perfect fit. He has been a teammate, and like I said, LeBron went to let him know we need you for this team to succeed, and he went and have a private meeting just with Kevin Love to let him know you appreciate it, and we need you to be a part of this team, and we want to complete the bigger picture, which is winning a championship, and he did that with the team. He's staying still, and he's putting up the numbers, and a lot of people overlook him, and that's the only reason why I wanted to make the video to let people know, hey, watch out for Kevin Love. He still can play. He's still one of the top 50 best players in the league. He accepted a lesser role, and he has rose to the occasion when they needed him to do it the last 2 seasons and show people that, hey, I'm still one of the better players in this league. And you don't really know that because nobody cares about Kevin Love because it's all about LeBron in Cleveland, and he has went undervalued. I will say that he did have a couple bad playoff stints, but he didn't really get that many shots. They really didn't even use him. He couldn't even get really in rhythm, not to make excuses, but I watched all the finals that he played in, and they stray away from Kevin Love when they should use him more often and look at more matchups to get him more comfortable and get him more acclimated inside that offense. But we'll see when Isaiah Thomas comes back. Can him and Kevin Love mesh? How big of a drop is Kevin Love going to get back in the offense when Isaiah Thomas come? And can he even play with Isaiah Thomas because he's shorter and smaller and a worse defender than Kyrie, but he also is another ball handler scorer. He needs the ball, but he can shoot off the ball and knock down mid-range, and he can take the ball from the three-point line all the way to the paint, so that could help Kevin Love too. We don't know until we see it. Obviously, they're going to have to go through some more chemistry when they bring Isaiah Thomas back, but Kevin Love has been steady. He hasn't really been complaining, and he's still in Cleveland, so we got to give him some type of credit because he's putting up the numbers, putting in the work, and they still won a championship. So let me know what you guys think about Kevin Love. Do you think he's overrated? Do you think that this trade they should have still kept Wiggins? Do you think that they should get rid of him because that's the first person they talk about trading is Kevin Love. Every time they struggle, get rid of Kevin Love. It's Kevin Love. It's Kevin Love. But when you look at the numbers, it's not really Kevin Love, and that's all I have to really say. If you watch the games and you look at the numbers, the eye test don't fail you, and it hasn't been failing me because I always have Kevin Love in my top player lists, even though he had took a lesser role. So check out my my Facebook account, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Obviously, check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description comment section below. If you're on YouTube, the YouTube channel will be pinned on my Facebook page if you're on Facebook. And if you also check out my website on Facebook, it will be pinned also on my Facebook. If you're on Twitter, it will take you right to the YouTube channel. Like on the YouTube video and subscribe if you're on Twitter. And also check out my website. Link will be in the description on my Twitter. And my YouTube account will be pinned just if you want to subscribe. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis gone, and let me know what you guys think about Kevin Love and how, if you think he's overrated or you think he's underrated or you think he's undervalued, which I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.